Let's look at some practice problems involving long division of polynomials. These are the three problems we're going to do. Let's start with this one. First, we want to start by rewriting this. Kind of the same way we would rewrite this if we were long dividing just two regular numbers. So, this is going to be written out like this. We're going to put this in here. This is x cubed minus 4x squared plus 2x plus 5 divided by x minus 2. Alright, so now let's work this out. What you want to do is you want to try to find something up here that when multiplied by this will give you this. And we'll start working our way from left to right. So what can we put up here when times by x gives us x cubed? Well, we can put x squared. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times negative 2 is negative 2x squared. Put it in parentheses, subtract. X cubed minus x cubed is 0. Negative 4x squared minus negative 2x squared, that's like saying negative 4x squared plus 2x squared is negative 2x squared. Now we're going to bring this term down, plus 2x. And now what can we put up here when multiplied by x will give us negative 2x squared? Well, we can put negative 2x. Negative 2x times x is negative 2x squared. Negative 2x times negative 2 is positive 4x. Then we're going to subtract this again. Negative 2x minus negative 2x is 0. 2x minus 4x is negative 2x. Bring this down. Positive 5. What can we put up here? When multiplied by x will give us negative 2x. Well, we can just put negative 2. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Put in parentheses, subtract. This will be 0. 5 minus 4 is 1, and 1 is your remainder. So you might, some people write out the remainder like this, remainder of 1. Some people will write it out like, you know, here's your answer right here, and then for the remainder, you're going to do plus 1 over x minus 2. So here's your answer and your remainder. Let's look at the next problem. So in our second problem here, we want to write it out the same way that we did the last one. But there is a problem because we're missing a coefficient here. We're missing an x. We have an x cubed, x squared, and then no x, and then 5. So this is how we're going to have to write this out. We start out with just our x plus 3, 2x cubed, plus 4x squared. And then when we get to, before we put our 5 in there, we'll have to put an x in here. But since we don't have one, we're just going to have to write 0x. And then we're going to put our minus 5. So that's how you're going to want to write this one out. So once again, same process. What can we put up here when multiplied by x that will give us 2x cubed? Well, we can put 2x squared. 2x squared times x is 2x cubed. 2x squared times 3 gives us 6x cubed. Subtract. This will be 0. 4x squared minus 6x. Minus 6x squared is going to be negative 2x squared. Bring down the 0x. So what can we put up here to get 2x squared? We have our x. We're going to need to put a negative 2x. Negative 2x times x is negative 2x squared. Negative 2x times 3 is negative 6x. So this will be 0. And then we have 0x minus a negative 6x. So that's like saying plus 6x. So we'll get 6x down here. Bring down the 5. 6x minus 5. What can we put up here? When multiplied by x, that will give us 6x. We can put 6. 6 times x, 6x. 6 times 3 is 18. And parentheses, subtract. Negative 5 minus 18 is negative 23, and that will be your remainder. You could write it out like, you could put the remainder right here as remainder of 23. Or you could write it out, since it's a negative, as minus 23 over x plus 3. All right, let's look at our final problem. All right, so in this problem, you're going to see that we're missing a term in both the numerator and the denominator. Here we're missing an x, because we have x cubed, x squared, but no x, and then 3. And here we're missing an x. We have 2x squared, no x, and then 1. So we're going to have to write this out like 2x squared. Then we're going to have to put in a 0x minus 1. And then in here we're going to put 4x cubed minus 2x squared plus 0x minus 3. All right, so we'll start by trying to find out what can we multiply by negative 2x squared that will give us 4x cubed. Well, we can do 2x. 2x times 4x, or 2x squared gives us 4x cubed. 2x times 0x will give us 0x squared. 0x squared. And 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x. Let's put all this in parentheses, subtract. This will be 0. Negative 2x squared minus 0x squared will leave us with 2x squared. 0x minus negative 2x will give us positive 2x. And we'll bring this negative 3 down. So, now, what can we put up here that will give us negative 2x squared when multiplied by 2x squared? Well, we just put negative 1. Negative 1 times 2x squared gives us negative 2x squared. Negative 1 times 0x is 0x, or negative 0x. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. We'll subtract all this. This will be 0. 2x minus negative 0x is 2x minus 3, or negative 3 minus 1 will be minus 4. So that's your remainder. So this is your answer, and here's your remainder. So answer will be written out like 2x minus 1 remainder of 2x minus 4, or 2x minus 1 plus 2x minus 4 over 2x squared. For this part, you wouldn't have to put the 0x in there. We just did that to try to solve the problem. So just 2x squared minus 1. So those are the two different ways you could write this out. Any questions? Comment below.